Oops.
I want to address the Ellen DeGeneres situation really quickly.
Okay.
So, about 2 months ago, when we talked about this, Giulio, and people are not going to believe this story, but I feel like I can talk about it now. I got a phone call from Ellen DeGeneres. And you guys know this story, and so I'm just going to try to tell it quickly.
No. Tell it for them. I don't mind hearing it again.
Okay. When I got fired from Barstool, one of the most prominent people to come to my defense was Andy Lassner, who is Ellen DeGeneres' executive producer, one of the three. He's known because he often appears on her haunted house segments or her getting surprised by people segments. Funny guy, he's got 500,000 followers on Twitter. He's verified. He retweeted my apology statement after I got fired and said some very nice things about me. He said, I don't know who you are until today, but you sound like a decent person. What happened to this girl is tragic. Life goes on. The mob will come for you. It will pass. I wish you the best. Good luck. Sending love or something. And it was
very nice.
A very important, uplifting lifeline for me at a time when I thought, as I've said, my world was crumbling. So I always appreciated that. And then he and I DM'd on Twitter a couple times, and I thanked him, and he said, no problem, like, good luck, all that. So a couple months ago, when the early Ellen DeGeneres rumblings started, that she was mean, right? Started coming out that she wasn't very nice, not very personable, not good at making direct eye contact, did not want people talking to her, all of that. I started writing these joking defense blogs on Bro Bible of Ellen, saying
clarify. You were joking, but you were defending her for real.
I was defending her for real, but I was going so over the top.
Right.
I was basically the title of one was "Dear Punk Bitches, Kindly Back the Fuck Off of Ellen DeGeneres," and I thought this idea of being very acerbic and very biting in my defense of good-natured, funny Ellen DeGeneres was kind of an amusing contrast. I wrote these blogs. Andy Lassner DMs me. He says, "We've been passing around your blogs. They're so funny. They're helping us." Emotionally in this time. Ellen has read them. They're great. What's your phone number? I give him my phone number. He tells me that maybe Ellen's going to text me the next day. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to know if Ellen DeGeneres is texting me? It could just be one of her many minions.
Right.
But whatever, that would be cool. And then the next morning, I got a phone call from an unknown number, and I picked up, and it was Ellen DeGeneres. And we talked for 20 minutes on the phone about how to deal with internet hate.
Crazy.
And it was one of the most surreal moments of my career. I was giddy. I was short of breath. I couldn't believe that this megastar was calling me. She said she really liked my writing. She was very affirming. It was one of the most validating moments of my career. And it was also fascinating. And the reason that I'm saying this story now, because they asked me not to share it, but I think it's important and okay for me to share this now, because my experience talking to Ellen DeGeneres and talking to Andy Lassner, her executive producer, was very positive. Was an extremely positive experience. And maybe that's obvious. Mm-hmm. But when I spoke to her, I did not feel that she had her guard up. I did not feel that she was performing or being disingenuous. I felt as though I was speaking to Ellen DeGeneres in her home, being honest with me. Kind of, for whatever reason, she felt like she was speaking with somebody that she could be honest with, and she was honest with me. That's how it felt. And it felt like she was a good person.
Right.
I understand performers of that caliber can delude people into thinking they're good people, But my impression of Ellen was very good.
Mhm.
And right now, she is being taken down. The New York Post is writing a new article about her every day. They're talking about who is a suitable replacement for her
Wow.
on her show. All these names are getting thrown around. And of course, the plot has thickened so much because once the microaggressions and the racial sort of discomfort, that's not the right term, the culture of fear with racial undertones that the Ellen show was built in and steeped in, and no one addressed it for so many years. And then the sexual harassment or assault stuff that is coming out about Kevin Lehman, who's the head writer of the show. All of that is totally unacceptable. Absolutely. And is not, is sick and needs to be corrected. And, it's good that all of that stuff is happening. Whether or not Ellen knew, who can say? I think she's kind of fortifying herself behind a curtain of ignorance and saying, well, it all came from the producers, and it was from there down, and she didn't know any of this stuff was going on. So it's two separate issues. One, you've got Ellen being a bad person, being mean and not personable or approachable. And then you've got the Ellen show itself being a really sick place and toxic place to work. And I'm sure that those two things lend to each other. But in moments like this, where a person has the entire world piling on and taking them down, I feel that it's important to remember the full picture, which is that Ellen DeGeneres, in her 30-plus year career, has done so much for gay people, for so many disenfranchised groups, her community outreach, her foundation. Think of how many young women who may have been afraid to come out were bolstered by this icon, this cool, hip, hysterically funny, successful role model, and who were emboldened to be who they are because of Ellen DeGeneres. There is goodness in that cannot be ignored.
Right.
And if this is the end of Ellen DeGeneres, I want us to remember that side too, just as we remember the goodness that Lance Armstrong's foundation did to give courage to children battling cancer and all of that, despite learning, that he was a pathological liar and a cheater, right? I personally think that these disgraced icons of society, we write them off, we tear them down, and then we try to forget about them or only remember the bad. And with Ellen DeGeneres, I just want us to remember, if this is the end of her, at least in my experience, she's done a lot of good and is a good person. So that's my thoughts on that.
If you like that video, check out our channel where we have way more videos. I just don't know how to do this. This is unbelievable. If you like that video, we have way more videos on our channel. Please like and subscribe. Turn on notifications if you want to know when there are new ones. But if not, check them out, and we appreciate it.
Oops.